What up, YouTube? It's your boy Banks, and we back in the building. You feel me? It's True Talks, cause True Talks. All right, let's get straight right into it. So you already know, man. The other night was game two. Obviously it was in the Bay Area. Game two. In the Chase Center, and it was a must-win game for the Warriors, especially because if they don't win that, then they're down 0-2 and you're going back to Boston, which is obviously a predicament and a situation that you don't want to be in, right? If you're the Warriors. And, Steph again has been playing, he's been playing great for the most part, especially given the context where the Celtics, their defense, man, like I didn't expect the Celtics. Granted, they did win one game and it is 1-1, obviously, right? But I didn't expect the Celtics to implement this kind of game plan. I thought they would, go to where they switch everything and have Steph doing a lot of ISO and put him in a lot of ISO situations. That's normally what the blueprint has been in the finals or even the conference finals with the Rockets previous years. In 2017 and 2018. And then when you look at the finals, especially 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018, basically when the Cavs, when they had that run where they were facing each other, that's what they implemented. They switched everything, even if it had to be at times with Kevin Love or Tristan Thompson. When it had to be the unconventional bigs guarding him, you force him to ISO, and you're going to have more so a recipe for success. It was obviously more different when KD came there, right? Because now KD was the one that would ISO when they would switch everything, dump it to KD, and KD will be the one getting the bucket. And Steph would kind of he played a lot of off the ball that people don't actually use the trained eye to see. People, forget things in hindsight, right? And you see this whole different narrative, but that's not the point. We'll dive into that later, especially after the finals. We're going to break that down because they're getting disrespectful out here for the most part. But again, like I was saying, they did do a lot of switching in the previous finals, and that's why, KD was the reason why he got finals MVP and got them over the hump. And the minute he was out again, you were able to kind of trap Steph more, especially because he uses a lot of screens. And then, for the most part, one on one, you kind of just you flip a coin, and you kind of, sometimes he'll hit it, sometimes he won't. But he's not as aggressive in his one on one scenarios. He's trying to use the screens to kind of force you to make a mistake, and then boom, in the blink of an eye, he capitalizes. That's one thing. Steph gonna capitalize. If you make a mistake, he gonna rip the mesh. He gonna rip the mesh, and that's what he was doing in game two, ripping the mesh. Obviously, the Warriors started off slow, because again, the Celtics were hot and they were forcing a lot of ISOs, and Steph wasn't finding his rhythm. And then the minute he was in actions, and then for some reason the Celtics still want to apply the drop coverage, and when they apply the drop coverage, what happens? Steph gonna kill every time, every time, every time. And Celtics, they're doing something weird, like they're playing the drop coverage. They're doing a different variation of the drop coverage. So most times when you do the drop coverage, the big is at the free throw line. That you do on the regular schmegler point guard or whoever that you're playing. Just the basic principle is our team principle is we do the drop coverage. And the Celtics don't really do this often. They do it with Rob Williams, but not with everybody else. But I guess whatever. So normally when you run a drop coverage, the big is at the free throw line below, protecting the paint. You see Lopez. You see a lot of these bigs do that. Rudy Gobert, just a defensive big principle in this new NBA, especially with heavy PNR, action. So when that happens, most times the point guard or whoever is dribbling and handling the rock, Kyle Lowry, whoever, just the typical point guard, they normally, especially even Luka, like stuff like Harden, right? Normally they kill in the paint and they kill off threes. So what you do with that drop coverage, normally the defender who's guarding the point guard or whoever has the ball handler, they're gonna run through the screen. They're gonna fight over the screen, and they're gonna be on the man's hip, and they're gonna be attached to the ball handler, and then they're crowding him so he doesn't really get a mid-range look off. So then now he's going to have to score in the paint, and the big's in the paint, so you cut off the three. That's kind of the game plan and the scheme in terms of just defensively guarding that. And that's the normal drop coverage that is being implemented. But when you have guys like Steph, guys like Dame, they're not running the screens at the three-point line. The screens are being ran at half court, at like one step, two steps in at half court, which is why you heard Marcus Smart when he was, wired in game 1 saying, yo, you got to bring that drop that you're in, because it's not the Heat series. It's not like guys that won't shoot those deep threes and stuff like that, like Steph, Dame, guys like that, even Kyrie, all these, elite guys, they'll pull that. Once you give them a slither of room, they'll pull that. You can't play the drop that far, especially because the screens are higher. So you have to extend your drop to more so the 3-point line, or, you do the drop is higher, so now that window is tighter, and hopefully I can fight over the screen and I'm attached to his hip, so he won't be able to shoot that like cleanly. You know what I'm saying? So then now when you get to the free throw, now I'm back in time in front of him. Now you go to the roller. And that's kind of what they're just doing, an extended drop. That's what the Celtics are doing. But you still can't do that because, again, Draymond, yes, he's going to get away with illegal wrestling screens. Like, before I even finish the point, Draymond was wrestling man's last game. Like, dog, when I seen him actually full tackle and spear, the man speared Grant Williams, and Grant Williams was called for the foul. I knew what time it was. I knew over time the Celtics are going to, that is going to be an uphill battle over time, even though they were leading the start. It's going to be an uphill battle when I know the refs are going to they're dictating the game. They're going to allow, Draymond to do, like, he was wrestling, man. Like, normally I'm a Draymond fan. I think that he's underappreciated. I think that he's really the reason why Steph got unlocked to the stratosphere he entered. Without Draymond, Steph wouldn't unlock that, because Draymond allowed, being a playmaker, he allowed Steph Curry to be his natural self, instead of being a natural point guard that's going to come up, like with Dame coming up every play, I'm the point guard and I make decisions. Steph now more so, obviously he's going to have scenarios where he is coming up point guard and dribbling, and Draymond sets the screen. But for the most part, Draymond is ball handling, and Steph can roam, play like a Rip Hamilton, Ray Allen, Reggie Miller 2.0, because he could ball handle, and he's just going to relocate, come off screens, come off actions, and pin downs and all that type of stuff, and have off-ball movement. And that's when he was unlocked to a new stratosphere, because he's definitely unguardable in that, right? It's so hard to, like his energy and just how the ball finds him in Draymond. Like, he unlocked Steph to that level. So I'm a Draymond fan, right? But still, at the end of the day, my eyes don't lie. I'm not biased. At the end of the day, I understand when a man is getting away with the most reckless screens. Like, normally Draymond will do his hip and do his bum and do illegal screens, like the Tim Duncan type of illegal screens. But he's actually like clotheslining man's, like, dog, he's arm barring Marcus Smart, like, for Steph to do that, reverse pivot or up and under, on Horford. And, bruh, just, dog, clotheslining Grant, like I said, fouling Jaylen Brown. Just, I'm seeing him, like, even Marcus Smart, too. He actually tackled him, and someone got a layup or something like that. They didn't even call nothing. Like, the shit he was getting away with was actually reckless. It was, bro, dog, I couldn't believe it. So when I see that, I'm like, okay. And then the technical foul, him not getting the second one, every other scenario, he would have got it. But because it's game 2, they actually use context, which is what I like. I like the fact that they were able to use context and discernment and understand that, okay, he has one. Are we really going to call a double tech in the scenario when it didn't really escalate? We kind of stopped it. No, don't do it, because this guy will get kicked out. Like, you have to use context in the scenario. If he was a regular role player, maybe. But the fact that he has impact, you know what I mean? And it's the finals. Like, I like the context they applied. But for the most part, Draymond was getting away with a lot of shit. You get what I'm saying? He was getting away with a lot of shit. So, with that said, I kind of knew what kind of game it was going to be. I knew the outcome it was going to be. I actually knew they're probably going to end up getting blown up, because now the confidence just rises and rises and rises. And then now the way the Celtics play, they play more relaxed because the calls, you know what I mean? So then now Steph, like, the drop coverage that they're allowing Steph, like, Steph is getting open-ass threes, yo. Open threes. Now, granted, he's still creating. That doesn't take away from him. And the fact that he's getting open threes and he's hitting it, because he could miss. Clay's getting open threes and he's missing, right? So Steph could palms be sweaty and he could be missing. Steph is more so, he knows the need. He knows the importance of this finals MVP. Like, as much as people say it doesn't, oh my God, it's not going to change. Like, it does. It's going to change his career. Like, for the people put Kobe lower on the tier in terms of the greats, in terms of the top 5 or whoever. Obviously not me, but people put Kobe because his three-peat with Shaq, he has no finals MVP. But the difference in the context is, if you really know hoops, Shaq was more so had the mismatch because the East had no bigs. So you give it to him, and Kobe sacrificed and said, in the clutch, I'll carry, But for the most part, throughout the whole game, Todd McCullough's guarding you. Dikembe's guarding you. Like, these are like, they're babies compared to Shaq. They don't have the strength. They don't have the IQ to guard him. Where in the West, you had David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Chris Webber, Vlade Divac. You had all these bigs in every series. Rasheed Wallace. You know what I'm saying? All these big bigs in all Portland and all these series leading up to the finals, where that's why him and Shaq and Kobe were evenly matched eye to eye, both averaging 30 in those series. In times where Shaq would even get padded and Kobe got to take over, right? Because there's actually bigs that can guard, you know what I mean? Make it tough. Obviously, Shaq's unguardable, but they can make it tough, right? The Sabonis, all those guys. So when you look at it from that perspective, it was more so a mismatch. But even then, regardless, it was young Kobe, and it was more so Shaq's the 1A. I thought they were still equivalent, but again, Shaq's more so the more dominant guy at that time because Kobe's coming into his own. Steph is the main guy on the team for all these. Every time he's reached the finals, Steph's been the main guy. So the fact that he has no finals MVP, it's really a knock. It's really a knock. I don't care what any man, like, don't let mans fool you because, again, there's biases around. I do love Steph, and I rate his ability. You know me, I'm a skilled guy. Steph is a skilled guy. You know what I mean? In real life, mans know me in real life. I was doing the deep range, limitless shot that Steph be doing. I was doing that before Steph was even doing it and comfortable doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I was doing that in real life. So, you know what I mean? Like, I appreciate Steph's game. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what elite looks like. But I don't lie. I'm not biased. It's about rating everything accordingly, being authentic as can be to the game. You know what I'm saying? Dog, that's what True Talks is about. So when True talks, you listen. You know what I'm saying? An unbiased, unfiltered opinion is where I understand why Steph can get that criticism. Because I think I'm the guy, too, who even thinks Iguodala shouldn't have won. And the role player, yes, he changed the series and he had impact and all that type of stuff, but Meta World Peace had impact. There's always going to be a role player that's going to have impact. That's why they're elite in their role. But does that mean they're going to be a finals MVP when Steph's leading in points, assists, and all? Like, come on now. And he's the focal point and he's cooking. And, like, come on now. Iguodala should have never got that MVP. But the fact that they got it, there's something there for them to even do that. Why? And that's where you have to understand that's a knock against Steph. For as much as, you know what I mean, it shouldn't be. It's a knock against Steph, the fact that he has 3 rings and no finals MVP while he's supposed to be the main guy. Oh, KD came. KD really wasn't that guy. It's been Steph. Steph's who they game plan for. Steph's the guy they doubled. Steph's da-da-da-da-da. But yet, why does he have no finals MVP then? And you're the main guy. If he's the main guy, that's going to be a knock. Imagine LeBron had 4 rings and only 2 finals MVP. Like, come on now. That's going to be a knock. And that was a knock against Kobe. You can't move the goalpost. That's going to be a knock against Steph. That's why at least when Kobe now was the main, every time Kobe was the main guy, guaranteed, no ifs, ands, or buts, finals MVP, 2 out of the 3 finals, he lost 1 finals. Steph, like, as the main guy, has 3 rings and no finals. Like, come on now, that's going to be a knock. So we move past that. Steph, there's really an impact. Every man knows. The hoop world knows. The purists know. Steph knows. Every man knows, like, this is a legacy finals for Steph. Really, if he wins another ring, if he doesn't win a ring, that's going to bring back the KD narrative. Right? Because he only won 1 ring without KD versus an injured Cavs. So did you really? You know what I'm saying? That's going to be there. If he wins the ring and no finals MVP, that might even be worse than not even winning. Because now that's 4. Like, come on now. Now, if he wins the ring and gets the finals MVP, that's going to do drastic measures legacy-wise. It's going to debunk, it might debunk some of the narratives that, that is out there. So, and now you could really say he should have 2. You know what I'm saying? 2 out of the 4, like half and half, 2 KD, 2 Steph. Elites. You can't say nothing. Right? So, this is really a legacy one. So Steph is really, I'm seeing the aggression. Sometimes in one-on-one situations, he would pass and trying to run the offense and run the actions. But I seen him cook Pritchard 2 behind the backs, get the floater while being trapped a little bit on the floater. That was elite. You know what I'm saying? I seen him one-on-one. You even doing off the screen. Obviously, it was off the screen, but up and under. Normally, he would pass that. He wouldn't up and under out from with no dribble from a pivot at like free throw line doing a floater like off a pivot. Like, he normally don't do that. He normally would just pass that shit and get it back and relocate. He did that. You seen him being more aggressive, Granted, yes, part of it is the Celtics' bad defense, like playing the drop coverage and stuff like that, but he's taking advantage of it. He's taking advantage of it nonstop. So you have to appreciate that and tip your hat off, you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to it. So, and like you look at Steph right now, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to just the series, right? Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum both averaging 20.5 and 20 points, respectively. Horrendous shooting, 37% from the field for Jaylen Brown in 2 games and 30% from the field in Jason Tatum in 2 games. That's horrendous. 29% from 3% from 3 for Jaylen Brown, 50% from 3, which is elite from Tatum. But everything else besides the 3, he's been struggling, right? You look at Steph, and that's horrendous percentages. Steph, 45%, 46% from the field, which is decent. Not the greatest, but it's decent. It's very good. It's very good. Obviously 50% plus is elite, but he's right now, he's very good. Very good. I like that, especially for the types of shots he's shooting. From 3, 46% from 3, that's elite. You know what I'm saying? And then 32 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. Like, he's having a great finals right now. His best finals he's had in just the 2 games, right? Obviously, context, having a 17-0 run in game 1, like, that wasn't a great fourth quarter. He had a bad stretch in the elite first quarter, bad 2 to 4 quarters for the first game, great 1 to 3 quarters for the second game. Overall, great series that he's having. His best right now to start. His best right now, given the context, given the Celtics defense, given the, not having a KD, not having no one there. It's him and Clay. Clay struggling. Like, given all of that, he's having a great finals. Like, he's on pace to have historic, this is supposed to have historic measures for him. So, when you look at that, I like what I see from Steph aggression-wise. I like what I see from Steph. I don't like what I see from the Celtics defense, and then it's affecting their offense. They're missing bunnies. Even the Warriors are missing bunnies. But for the most part, we'll see. Like, the series hasn't really started yet. Game 3 will really Game 3 is gonna really ramp up from Game 3. I expect some adjustments from the Celtics because, again, I don't like this drop coverage. Why don't they just try for a half? Switch everything. Yes, Horford might not be able to. Like, I know they're fearful. That's the thing. They're fearful of Steph having to, like, Steph, you've seen his wiggle, like that step back he hit on Horford, you know what I mean? The step back, or even that he did on Grant Williams in game 1. Like, when he's had Grant Williams and Horford on him, you've had flashes and having, moments of he's shifting them and it's really unguardable. They can't do nothing, right? But why don't you try it for, apply some longevity to that? Because, again, you playing the drop, he's getting more open looks. At least him doing step backs, it's somewhat open, late contest. Like, he had to work for it. These open looks, like, that's why you could tell when someone's comfortably getting open looks by just the makes. Not how many makes, but when they make it, how is the mesh looking, right? When you look for Steph was ripping the shit out of the mesh. Like, to the point it sound like when man's is whipping you with a towel, pause. When when you're a young boy and you're whipping whoever, you're whipping a girl, you're whipping a ting, whatever you're doing, whatever your preference is. But when you're whipping somebody and you hit that wet towel with the tip is getting skin contact, and you're getting that's how the mesh was sounding, yo. He was ripping the shit out of that, yo. Like, dog, beautiful, pure as can be. Like, that's when a man is confident, like, he's comfortable. Like, I don't see nobody in sight. Like, this is wide open, yo. I'm pulling this. I can get my proper gather. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. So I'm like, dog, this is what we doing? This is what we really doing? This is what we really doing? So when you look at it from that perspective, like, you got to understand, man, like, they got to do something different. Switch everything. Try to contain Steph. Force him to one-on-one and work for it. Maybe that adds to more fatigue. He's getting easy looks early in the shot clock, like, stuff like that. Like, this all matters. This is all contextual, and it matters to just the whole, how the team moves, and then the confidence. Now Jordan Poole is splashing from half court. Like, that dog, tween through the legs, hezzy pull from half, like, swish too. Now, like, everybody's swishing. Like, dog, that was crazy, yo. The skill in this league is different, Lo. It's different. Like, a lot of these old heads, like, I'm kind of like hybrid. I kind of like, I appreciate, I understand. Like, a lot of these guys out here won't be able to score out there in the older era. Not because they have the skill, not because they don't possess skill, but because the context, the guys around you weren't as skilled, which means less spacing. These guys in this era don't even score or shoot on double teams like that. So imagine you had to always shoot on double teams because you can't pass to that guy in the corner. He's not even at the corner three. He's at the corner mid-range. He can't really shoot. He's just a defender. At least now there's 3 and D. So at least that guy spaces the floor. You have to worry about him. PJ Tucker, 3 and D, can hit the corner 3. But imagine you had the Tony Allen who couldn't shoot for shit, Cephalosha, all these type of guys, and that's what was normal back then. And then you had the power forward couldn't shoot, the center couldn't really shoot, and if they could shoot, it's a midi. So now your paint is just clogged. You have to live on the mid-range perimeter all day, every day. What are you really doing? A lot of these guys wouldn't do nothing out there. So I co-sign, and I co-sign what the old heads is saying. But a lot of these old heads, like not the elite ones. We're talking about the guys who were like just able to just play defense and have a career. A lot of you guys won't be able to even. You'll be in the G League in this league. You know what I'm saying? Because like you need skill. So it's twofold. I'm hybrid. I understand both. It's different. You get what I'm saying? So for the most part, like the point was you have to understand both. I'm someone who appreciates the old heads. I appreciate all of that. But like this league, the skill is too potent, yo. It's too different. Mans are doing half, like, it's not like he just chucked half court like back then. Oh, shot clock, for clock dying. Dog. The man did like a mid-range take from half, yo. And he didn't backboard it. He didn't boom, boom, boom. Like, he swished the shit. Like, to be able to pull, like, off of in and out, whatever he did, in and out, through the legs, and then hesitate, and then pull. Like, this is a ISO sequence. This is an ISO, dog. This is a rhythm dribble. Like, you know what I mean? This is this is an island. This is what mans do at the 3-point, the free throw line, midi. Like, when they face up in the post, now I do this. Like, you did that from half, yo, and you switch the shit. Like, dog, league is different. Even the mentality even, like, apply that there. That means they've been working on, like, the skill is just different, yo. Like, I appreciate it, yo. I appreciate stuff like that. That's why Steph looked at Poole like, yo, welcome to the party, pun intended, but like an older brother or older father figure, like he's smiling at him like, yo, are you that? That's you? That's you though? That's you though? I see you, yo. You entered. And it's the finals and you confident like, bruh, I do that. You did what I do? Dog, I love it. Dog. That's why he's smiling at him like that, yo. That was beautiful to see, but for the most part, man, like, again, we'll see how things transpire in game 3. Like, again, I just want the Celtics to just, again, I have Celtics in 6. I do, like Steph. I like the Warriors. It's just I'm kind of like, when I make these predictions, I kind of like, okay, the coaching staff, Udoka has IQ. The personnel, I kind of assess the personnel for each team, and I can foresee what the elite game plan they're going to implement. The elite game plan they're going to implement. The play style that this team plays. The offensive play style this team plays. Now face. What's going to happen? What's going to work? Who's going to do what? How mans are going to look given that context? I kind of assess it, and I could try to foresee it. And now, based off of that, I make my prediction. So when I see the Celtics switching everything and doing their elite defense, this is their philosophy. They normally do this. Only Rob Williams might not switch everything, but he can. So let's do that. We do switch everything. Mans can contest. Mans, Steph has to always live in ISOs. His actions aren't working. I don't see the Warriors killing off ISO like that. They don't do that. They avoid that. That's why you see Steve Kerr saying move the ball. Like, they avoid that. They don't want to do that. And the Celtics are flip side. They live in ISO, and their ball movement is predicated on Jaylen Brown cooking that man. Now help happens. Now you skip. Now everybody rotates, and that's their ball movement. Their ball movement is designed from one-on-one ability. It's designed from Tatum one-on-one ability. Sometimes it's going to lead a one-on-one shot creation shot, yeah. But a lot of the times I'm going to kill you. I'm going to blow by Jaylen Brown. First of all, Jaylen Brown loves going right. You got to force him left. But that's a different discussion. But, we going to kill, and then now everyone else, boom, 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 we score. And that's how they play. So that's more a recipe. That's more of a recipe for success, because when you switch everything, you're forcing man to one-on. You can't double. You can't guard that. You're going to have to double, and then that's even helps the ball movement even more. So when you look at it from that perspective, that's why I foreseen Celtics in 6. But the Celtics aren't doing the game plan. So, like, that changes. Like, if they keep doing this, basically, if they keep doing this shit, if they keep playing drop coverage for Steph, he's getting wide open looks, Jordan Poole getting wide open looks, Klay Thompson getting wide open looks, even though he's missing. So the Warriors going to win in 6. Maybe even 5 if they keep doing this shit. So I'm expecting an adjustment. It's game 3. Maybe they just want to have an onslaught out. As long as we still won, do this game. Sometimes coaches do that. Do a game plan that, like, can guard. Sometimes we might leave Steph, whatever. We're going to do this game plan, make them feel comfortable with this, and then game 3, slap the shit. We're going to flip it. Culture shock. Win 2 at home. Now we in a favorable position because they can't adjust for that. We just killed them. Instead of doing it from game 1 out the gate, and then now they figure it out, and now we don't really have a counter to if they were to figure it out. Our counter is this. Maybe this is the counter, and let them win 1 with unconventional, and now we switch it. Now we're going to win 2. Sometimes guys do that. LeBron, especially him, he be doing that. You see game 1, he'll lose. He's seeing things out and then go on an onslaught because we switch shit. Sometimes they do that. So maybe Udoka's doing that. He hasn't been the one to kind of do that for like up to this point. So maybe he just did that, you know what I mean? Because it's a different monster. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things transpire. We'll see how things pan out. But for the most part, it's what Elite looks like. Again, share, like, and subscribe. We out here. There's no down here. There's no drought here. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. You already know. Spread the word. You already know, man. We out here. Like I said, again, click that notification button so you know when I'm here. Because I'm here. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. You already know. Spread the word. Again, click my link below to follow all my social media platforms. On Twitter, I be talking to shit too. And on IG, I be posting, you know what I'm saying? Especially it's more frequent. And, mans want to comment, we get at it. And then, again, comment on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And we going to talk that hoop talk for real. So let me know what y'all think and how y'all seen the first 2 games, especially game 2. And we can have a discussion. You know what I'm saying? Is that boy, you better trust him. He's disgusting. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. That's what Elite looks like. And, dog, side note, y'all Steph fans are hella biased, yo. Like, this KD versus Steph shit is getting out of hand, yo. Like, y'all are capping. Y'all are trying to create these narratives. Like, y'all really, I understand y'all love Steph. I understand man's bias. But, like, the hate KD's get. Like, I'm hearing some shit that I've never heard before about KD. Doesn't even make sense. Like, y'all are getting really disrespectful out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be honest to what happens. Let's just do that. But, I mean, that shit gonna fall on deaf ears because that's the era we in. Cap tackler, Captain Underpants, Captain America, whatever cap you want to bottle cap it on, they be capping. New era, fitted, don't matter. Like, what cap do you wear? Snapback, like, dog, that's what it's about. The cap comes in all different colors, all different designs, all different flavors, bro, all different logos. That's what they doing out here. So I guess that's what it is, yo. You already know. It's true talks. It's true talks. Again, we out here. There's no down here. There's no drought here. You feel me? Appreciate y'all. We'll see how game 3 goes. That's what LA looks like. And I'm out, man.